Hey, I have something dark to ask you. Not like Warframe dark.
Okay.
Have you heard of one of the immortal players?
The immortal players?
Immortal, or at least an immortalized player. So there was a player.
Yeah, like Data Reaper?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Let
Alright.
me tell you the
I'll
story, and then
listen.
you figure it out from there. So
Okay.
my ex-friend, my ex-mate, I should say, because he was really close to me. Um, we were talking Warframe, or I think it was him or somebody else. I can't remember. Somebody told me that there was a player who put themselves in the dojo and kneeled at one of the stand things here, and
Mhm.
like they. Unfortunately, this is dark, as I said, because I'm still streaming. um, they unfortunately committed seppuku, and because after I don't know if it was like an account termination or something, or account timeout or account lock or whatever, um, because they're set as a kneeling in the dojo, they are their character is not despawned, and so it is forever immortalized in that dojo of their friends.
Interesting. I hadn't heard of that one.
Because it's on this, and because it's
Yeah.
kneeling at one of the things, it's forever there and is not desynced or is not removed.
Yeah, because you'd have to delete that whole instance. Hmm.
So that's what I have heard. I don't know if you've heard of it. I just thought it was something interesting, sad, but worth sharing and asking if you've heard of anything about it.
That is interesting. I hadn't heard of that story. Huh.
And I
Yeah, I
don't
hadn't heard of
know.
that
I don't know
story.
if it was that person or if it was their parent, because I'm pretty sure you know the WoW classic um, funeral.
Hmm.
Do you know of it?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
So the WoW classic funeral is that, or the Warcraft classic before transmog. There was a girl who, I don't remember if she took her own life or if she died by other means through not her own volition. Um, she passed away, to put it lightly, and so her um and she was part of a WoW Classic PvP server. So
Hmm.
on a forum, they announced, "Hey, we plan on hosting a ceremony of memory in this location at her favorite fishing spot. Could we please have moment of silence, and a moment of ceasefire in this area?"
Hmm. Yeah.
So what happened was is that people are, because transmog doesn't exist, so you can't modify the outfit. They're wearing formal attire to say their condolences to the father, as the father's on the account, and all of her war mates and friends are saying their 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 p's and q's to their condolences to the father, and
Hmm.
and at some point during that, a bunch of thieves, I don't know, or rogues, I guess would be the better one, would go in and started attacking the Alliance faction. All I know is the Horde, but they attacked the opposite of the Horde faction, um, and were being absolute assholes, as an entire raiding party was coming to help work on the rest of them, and just started causing
Yeah.
chaos. And because it's WoW Classic, if you die, you lose your shit in your inventory.
Oh.
So what was supposed to be a nice memorial turned into a fustercluck.
Yeah. Just because some fucking assholes couldn't.
Because of trolls, yeah. Because
stop.
it's the internet.
Yep. Of fucking course.
But yeah, I just thought the story was interesting that because on the kneeling pad, because I saw this and I was like, oh, this brings back the memory of the story. But yeah, I don't know who told me about it. I don't remember where I heard it, but it was like really cool that like people did it as a way to memorialize their fallen friend.
I want to show you the Data Reaper memorial. So you know Clem.
Never heard of. I don't know much.
Clem is a meme. So he started off. He's a Grineer NPC. So we can actually find him up here. He has a little fort.
That Clem. Yes.
Yeah, Clem, Darvo's friend. So this started a long time ago. Originally as some old Warframe players that there was a bugged Grineer that wasn't shooting at them, and just kind of followed them to their spawn or to their extract. And so they're like, damn, I wish we could take him with us, just as a meme, as a funny. And that spawned a entire comic strip about Clem, the Grineer that wants to be a Warframe. That gained so much popularity that DE created Clem and put him in the game, along with references towards the original comics. This is not the first time that they've done that, but the creator of those Clem comics, the original one, was Data Reaper. He was a well-known pillar of the Warframe community. He had been there since the start. He was a Warframe founder. But he unfortunately passed away, I think, at 19 years old. I believe of cancer. And so as part of just keeping, that memory alive, they not only had Clem in here, they made this memorial for him of his most played frame, Excalibur Prime, and his custom colored Chronia Prime. So this is the Data Reaper memorial. When he passed away and it was announced that they made it, they had absurd amounts of servers that were just all the players that were there and knew of them at the time logging in just to come pay their respects. There's also one other big main memorial area, which is that if you go to any relay in the fires next to the elevators, if a Digital Extreme family member or other person like that passed away, they'll put that name there as a temporary memorial just to show that. So if you see just a frame or a name in the fires over there, that's another thing that DE does, just to keep that memory alive. Less dark, more sad, more sweet. But that's my little contribution.
Yeah. It's really nice when game devs and the developers of games just give back, not only to the community, but memorialize and such. Like, it's not the same, but people like me, Cookie, other people who did the whole we were fighting on the Malevelon Creek thing. We got a cape for the whole memorialization of the entire community giving a giant middle finger to Sony. They made a cape out of it. And stuff like this, whether if it's the characters, the players, you know, stuff like that. If I ever become either famous or infamous, I would love I would love a Sevaga statue on the Railjacks.
Yeah, just something like
that you press, you interact with, and it just plays the Sisters Below song as you fight until you turn it off again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's just the small things that they'll do just to show that they didn't forget.
And that, like, the entire thing of a game is that it's 1/3 the developers, 2/3 the community. And without that 2/3, you don't have a game.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
Hollow Knight. When Hollow Knight first came out, everyone's like, 2D Metroidvania platformer, it's gonna be absolute shit. Everyone blows up about it, and it's a huge community. What is it? 8 years later?
Yeah, around there.
Recently, you know, as like a week ago, Silksong was announced and released.
Silksong, yeah. And everyone's just hyped.
And everyone's eating it up. And like, because Hornet's the new main character, obviously it's going to be Rule 34 stuff. But besides that, there's a lot of art. I mean, that's a given for almost anything. But there's a lot of fan art. There's a lot of cosplay. There's a lot of, you know, people coming out.
Just everything that, if the community hadn't really loved Silksong, loved Hollow Knight, as much as the creators did, if it hadn't caught on because of that community and gotten that support, Silksong definitely wouldn't have been a thing, most likely.
Oh, it absolutely wouldn't have. Because he would have been marked as a failure by the development community.
Yeah.
And there would probably be nothing for him and nothing that could be done. Like, you know, he could probably make other smaller games, but it would never
There'd
be
no
the
reason
thing
to
of
go back to it and make a second one.
Exactly. Because it's just one of those things of, there's nothing left for me here on this. Why would I go back and dig it up?
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that is a massive problem with game development as of, like, late, is that because, you know, so many studios are getting shut down, and with so many games constantly coming out on Steam, it's hard to put yourself out there. Like, it's a message in a, as, you know, Yahtzee once said when he first started doing game reviews was, it's like throwing a message in a bottle in a sea of messages in a bottles.
Yeah. And
you would be lucky if someone picked yours.
Unfortunately, all the biggest and shiniest bottles are made by companies that don't actually give a shit about their community.
They don't give a shit about their community. They care only about jerking off and sucking off the board members and making sure their whole things are going up and that their guys are pleased. Money. Yeah, because I mean, look at Ubisoft, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, hell, even Rainbow. They were, and Assassin's Creed. It was their 4 most popular things that everybody flocked to. Now you've got live service garbage. PvP has come back with Rainbow Siege X because it's not as bullshit as it was before. Completely cancelled, and Ghost Recon is currently in purgatory.
It's just...
And then you've got, you know, Nintendo, who's following the same tread as every other American AAA, where they were great with the community, they were great with their games, and all of a sudden they just said, nah, we don't want competition, so we're going to start declining, and then we're going to start blaming Palworld about it.
It's just... unfortunate that games can't just be games anymore. Like,
No, games can't have passion or creativity. They have to be based off of trends and algorithms.
which
And-
is unfortunate.
And it's nice if yours is what takes off. However, that's just what you're going to be doing for forever. Like Fortnite, they started with a zombie survival building game, made it into battle royale, and they beat out the game that first created battle royales. It's never who said it first; it's always who says it loudest. And Fortnite won that.
Yeah.
And now they're and Epic Games is stuck doing nothing but Fortnite because that's what makes the most money. And so they just basically hire other companies to make games for their exclusive platform, like Rocket League. They bought out the entire company of Psyonix and just said, "Really, we'll pay you this much money. You can keep the microtransaction money that you make. Give us a portion of it. Just put the game for free on Epic Games Store and stop selling on Steam."
It's no one wants to do anything different anymore, because why would they if what was working keeps working?
And somebody who, makes a Metroidvania game, how are they going to compete now that Silksong has reared its head? How is somebody who wants to make a first-person shooter game going to compete with Battlefield, with Call of Duty, with Rainbow Six?
You have to come up with something different.
And the problem
Otherwise, you're gonna get drowned out.
and even if you do come up with something, you're just going to be called a copier. There's nothing that's going to be unique. There's, not many people are going to be interested. It's like books. You can come up with an amazing book, have it be, Ernest Hemingway worth of literature, but if no one picks it up, no one reads it, what was the point?
Then it's just a waste of paper.
Exactly. It was a waste of time, paper, and energy, and then you feel like shit. It's a massive issue in today's world and society where those who are unique, those who make interesting things, are drowned out, covered, are ignored, or just never seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there's a lot of people whose stories are never told. Like Data Reaper, if he wasn't such a prominent name in the community, and he died of cancer, and his mom sent them an email saying, "Hey, my son was Data Reaper. He was a huge fan of your game." It could have just gone unignored, and this would not be here. Clem wouldn't exist.
Like we need more people that are willing to listen to the smaller ones and help raise the small ideas to be larger so that more people can see them.
We also need a lot more people bringing people up and not tearing people down. Because I could tell you, because I'm not an artist myself. I wish I was.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the normal sense of drawing, because I can't even write my own fucking name legibly. But I can, like Blender kind of stuff is more of my art.
Yeah.
Or creating levels and maps inside game engines. Regardless. It's one of the few things of where artists, overall, no matter what your thing is, whether if it's pixel, if it's 3D, if it's Blender, if it's 2D, if it's rendered, unrendered, chibi, no matter what, a lot of artists tear down other artists because they're trying to because they don't want to ask for help, and it's one of the hardest things to do is to ask somebody for help. Seriously, dude, we're having a moment, and you're sending me a message of, "Hey, here's a thing for Streamyabo to get more viewers." Fuck you. And it's like people want to reach out, but they don't know how. They don't know who. And if they do, they have a chance of either getting laughed out, or being called out in public as like, Look at this bitch trying to ask. Look at this small-time nobody trying to ask for help. Bro, my DMs are closed for a reason. I don't help anybody but myself. There's no way a Sigma like me and a Chad like me would help somebody like you. Like, it's nice when people, like, teach other people. Like, there's... And I keep going back to this because this is where my community is. There's one major NSF artist who took on an apprentice because they asked and showed potential, and everyone's calling them a clone of that first artist, when in reality it's they asked they're learning from them how to do better line art, better rendering of colors, how to make more things pop.
It's gonna look similar because that's how they're being taught. Let them figure things out, and then after that, they'll turn that style into their own.
Exactly. They'll add something.
Chill.
They'll change something. It's like, for example, like Hunt Down the Freeman. It's a Half-Life 2 game, but somebody took every single asset, copywritten asset, and then made it into its own game, featuring assets, characters, and models of everything. It's basically, hey, this is Half-Life 2, but somehow shittier.
It's a mad world.
Yeah. And like me, you know, I'm a nobody, but yet here I am streaming now on Wednesdays. I'll be uploading on Wednesdays after this because this was broken down into two because I'm an idiot.
Figure your stuff out, yeah.
It's you know, I'm trying to get with people, I'm trying to talk with people. I have yet to reach out to others because I have yet to get a stable footholding because I don't know what my future looks like for work or for careers. So, you know, and I don't plan on making this a career. I would like to make it a part-time job where I'm not having to rely solely on this until like I can combine two jobs to make it into one. Like, you know, how there's like painter streamers and such.
Yeah.
Or like
this is just getting in something.
This is just me trying to put my feet in the water, hanging out with people like you who, you know, who like on Wednesdays, you know, I'm playing Warframe with you. Maybe we can get some other people in here and just be like, you know, here's a bunch of stuff we can do, hang out. And you know, like you said, you know, basically, hey, let's put on the ankle weights. And let's lower it, and let's not go around nuking everything, and actually try having fun and challenging ourselves. Which would be easier for, which is no problem for me, considering I have nothing but ankle weights on.
It's just having fun.
Exactly.
No. And it is fun playing with it. I like finding newer players because it helps as well. Not only do I get to show them something that I love, that I've put so much time into, just kind of show them everything that I enjoy, help them enjoy things that I do, share weird bits of information, things that I've learned, just kind of be like, alright, yeah, here's everything that I know, go find something else out. Have some fun with it. But it also means that I can kind of relive those those brand new times through them. I get to remember what it was like the first time I fought this boss, because I'll be sitting there watching them do it, and I'm like, I remember this.
You get to have you get to have a step back into how you came up, and how maybe not the same as, you know, having somebody help you up, but you know, you had to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and learn everything from without much guide, with only what was on Reddit or in the community. And as everything was going around, basically as the game evolved, you had to figure everything out for yourself and with other people. Now, because of the age of the internet and how old this game is, you know, there's constantly people like I wouldn't consider myself a veteran, but I would consider myself experienced in this. And even then, I'm still learning stuff from people like you, and you can be like, and
oh yeah,
like
I was finding out new stuff just yesterday too.
Yeah,
Like, I was finding stuff out that I was like, I didn't realize I could do this with this frame. That's awesome, and I'm having a blast.
Yeah, and there's always different things because you know everybody online posts here's a walking nuke versus here's something that's fun that is actually survival. It's like building a D&D character.
Weird stuff.
You can min-max and not have fun, or you can sit down, pull up a chair, and write out a stupid character that works, is fun, and you will enjoy playing until he inevitably dies because of stupidity or unluckiness.
Oh yeah, I love doing that. I've had a couple. Like, the only D&D character I've made specifically after looking at a concept that was all min-maxed out, I changed it. Like, I kept the same general build, but then you actually add personality and flavor. Like, okay, yes, they were made with the same skeleton, but they're more than just that. It's how you play it.
Yeah,
how you play the game.
I made like I was told by a DM he was a black DM, and he was like, hey, I had lost the character, and he's like, hey, remember that comic you sent me? Yeah, make that a character. So I made a
nice.
I made an African American smith, a black blacksmith.
Nice.
So it's
just the dumb ideas.
Yeah, it's a forged cleric artificer.
It's awesome.
And
it's just the random shit you come up with.
Yeah,
and that's.
And it's all about like what you can come up with your creativity, and it's never painful to ask somebody like, you know, I showed you all the links that I had, or you know, like a few of them, and you're like, these are decent, these are going to basically do what you want, but it's not going to be good. Here's what I do, and I kind of found a middle ground of, you know, I'm still going to keep Reaper or the Shadow.
Like, there are a few different ways to do a lot of things. I just share my point of view, and I explain how it's different or the same as another point of view. And then if the person likes one or the other, all right, bet.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. If you like it this way, bet.
And somebody
showing what we do the same and different.
Yeah, and somebody in your position is able to say, with enough of the experience that you have, is basically to say, here's what I do, here's what they do, what do you want? And basically you can say, okay, so I can kind of help you out because you have access to all these mods, you have access to all these skills and weapons, and you can basically say, like, you helped me figure out a weapon that will be that when I unlock it after before I even reach the end of 1999, I will have a weapon that I will really enjoy because it's basically a high cap mag LMG with high damage. And you're like, what's your style? Because you kept reading off a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, this. And you said, well, here's 3 options. I said, we'll go with the first one. And then it's like, well, where is it? Oh, I have to be this level in it.
Yeah. And that's building off of what I've gotten from another friend. Like, this wasn't even just every weapon in the game. These were the strongest, but not necessarily the most fun. Like, one of the ones down there was kind of midway in the list. It's my favorite LMG, is the Quelor. I like how it sounds, I like how it feels, I like everything about it. Is it the strongest? No. Is it my favorite? Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I want the strongest weapon is because I'm never going to have the strongest Warframe, because I don't want to have a walking new. I just want something that I can enjoy to play. Like earlier before, how I got somebody hooked on Grendel and helped him build the Prime version of him. And everybody in the forums and the community is like, Grendel's very low tier. He kind of sucks. Meanwhile, me and him, at one point, because I painted mine blue and just play Green Hills, or just basically the Sonic,
Yep.
the Sonic soundtrack, and just roll around at the speed of sound as I start consuming everything, because it's fun. It's a fun way to cheese. Yeah, you can zone out, you can watch other stuff, and you can still have fun.
Yeah. Oh man, I might have to find... I had a great time. One of my friends was playing Grendel because he loves just bouncing around with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, how fast do you think we can get it to go? Just as a dumb thing, is it practical in an actual mission?
No.
But it was so funny doing all my little song and dance and giving him a massive speed buff and then saying go while I just fly up and watch him bounce across the plains. And then I'll just send him the video. I might have to find that again because it was just awesome for us to both watch. It was just fun.
Yeah. It's very much like the old like Cartoon Network show of Dude, What Would Happen in basically video games. It's just basically what would happen if we just max out Grendel's speed. What would happen if we just do this, that, the other thing. And it's always fun making up builds.
You can do things that are high level, really powerful, super optimized builds that aren't boring. Like that one, I was pulling out half the tips and tricks that I knew. I was having a lot of fun just prepping everything and being like, okay, cool. I'm going to do this, and this. And that's going to get you the biggest buff that I can without doing a few other things. But just, yeah, was I min-maxing? Was I doing that? Yeah. Was it for some boring push one button, everything's dead, and I'm not having fun? No. I was having a blast. Just because it was for a dumb reason that we were just...
I mean, experimenting is how you learn. I mean, look at Helldivers. Like, they figured out that you can you can catapult a Hellbomb with an auto gun. With the autocannon.
It's great. Just all the fun stuff.
One of the things one of the things I miss from a lot of older video games is just skill build. It's just skill builds, not master of everything, like in what they try and push now. And then you figure out what gear you want, but like Payday 2, where you have the gear, you have the skills. Now figure out what fits you. Like for me, shotgun, heavy armor, ammo replenish, and maybe a medical build to yell at people to get the fuck up.
Nice.
Basically, where you can swap out things, you can find your playstyle, and it's not you have everything now. You have access to everything. You're great at everything, but you can refine your thing more. I like it where you can basically say, this time I'm going to be playing, or in my case, my usual case is I'm going to be playing an engineer build. I'm going to basically be making things move, making things setting things up, that kind of thing. Or this time, okay, we need a sniper or heavy DPS, so I'm going to shove everything into damage and just, headshot everything. Versus everybody has access to everything. Everybody's good at everything. You cannot specialize outside of your minor equipment.
It is not as fun that way.
No.
It's a lot more fun to have your role that you do it. It's great.
Yeah, you do it. It's your specialization. It's what you put a lot of time and effort into, and what somebody else has, you can learn to get into. Like I bring up Helldivers again. Like I am a heavy diver. I run heavy armor because it is what I'm used to. I'm used to running with like little to no stamina. I'm used to having the high armor, and I run heavy ballistics like the recoilless rifle, a heavy machine gun, all that kind of stuff to basically be a one-man walking nuke while being slow as fuck to get to where we need to be, so I have to get there later.
Yeah. So like you have that specialization of you're a heavy diver.
I am going to be slow.
You're gonna hit like a truck, but you're not gonna be the first one on the scene.
Exactly. And I'm also I'm basically a heavy engineer diver, because most of what my stratagems are is just straight up turrets. I basically bring recoilless rifle and then 3 turrets, and that's it. Because that's all I need. Because as I'm standing as I'm standing there, you know, I can throw pretty far. If I take other different kinds of armor, I can throw even farther. I can have them back me up. I can stand on top of them and have them utilized for different things. And, you know, just basically be a pocket knife, because it takes 120 seconds for it to come back, which is, you know, a minute and a half or so. 2 minutes for it to come back.
2 minutes.
2 minutes for it to come back. And that 2 minutes, not much else is going to happen other than minusculous waves or sudden drops.
So it's just, you got your thing.
Yeah,
you're doing it.
It's my specialty, and it's what I specialize in, and it's what I have fun in.
Heck yeah.
The problem with a lot of, and going back to the other conversation, the problem with a lot of games now is that they're trying to synthetically create fun, but you can't manufacture fun. It's not something you can pull out of a can like happiness. Well, I mean, you can pull happiness out of a can. It's called antidepressants. But my point still stems from the fact that you can't just create fun and say, this is a fun game. Have fun. Why aren't you having fun? You're clearly not playing it right if you're not having fun.
No, that's not how that works.
No.
Like I was actually talking with my sister about Dead by Daylight earlier, and how it's a fairly small, easy game. Well, not necessarily easy, but like, yeah, you can't communicate, and yet the community has come up with all these weird little mini games, how they won't actually care that much about winning or losing the match. They'll just have fun with it, and that's what makes it fun, is the community being willing to do that, and they find the fun in it.
Exactly.
The fun isn't necessarily already there. They find a way to have fun.
Exactly.
Regardless of how it was originally.
And one of the things of it is that, like, it's one of those things of, like, you know, the developer intended ways, like, the developer intended ways, quote, air quotes, memes of, like someone did a clearly how the developer intended of Cyberpunk 2077, where they hopped on a flying car, flew over like 100 feet over the rooftop of a building, fell down, opened up the menu, closed it, and then dropped like 2 feet onto the ground, fell down, capped the person in the head, got out of the building, shot another person in the head, jumped off a 50-story building, approached the ground at high velocity, paused the menu, and then closed it, dropped 2 feet, and then walked away.
That's totally intentional.
Exactly. and then people started making like the developer intended way, like they would like one person did the Mario assist, played Super Mario Odyssey with the assist on, or the marker on, so they couldn't. And they were a professional speedrunner of the game, and so they couldn't. They had to resist all urges to just start trying to speedrun the game, and so they had to follow the dotted lines everywhere. And like, even though they're like, there's this moon over here, which is a lot easier to get to and a lot closer, but no, the game says we have to go this way.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That's why I do. That's one of the other things I like about Warframe and Digital Extremes is they listen to their community. Like, if the community wants bullet jumping and more mobility. And so they were, you know, abusing how one specific weapon's attack worked. Okay, cool. We're gonna get rid of that abuse. But you wanted it to be faster and more mobile? Alright, bet. We'll do that. Oh, we want to be able to, you know, do this, that, or the other thing. And we're gonna find a way to do it. Alright, well, we're gonna fix that. Because that's not how that should work. But if you want to play the game like that, sure. Alright. We'll do that for you. We'll make that a viable option. That's the best thing. They listen and they actually do change even the very core structure of the game to suit the players.
Because at the end of the day, you know, the players, the microtransactions, the community, it's what makes them get up, it's what gives them a paycheck, and it's what gives them purpose.
Yeah. If your players don't want to play the game, then they won't. And then it's not gonna do anything. Like, is it even a game at that point if no one plays it?
The hardest thing to do is to boycott a game. I mean, just look at Nintendo. Nintendo's been having all these downfalls, and yet it oversold, well, maybe mostly because of scalpers, because they didn't care. But, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2 oversold expectations. Mario Kart World oversold expectations.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just, like, dip your thumb in the pie and say I'm boycotting while grabbing the game and playing it with the other.
No. So that's... I'm hoping that more people will start realizing, especially after things like Silksong, that we don't want the same stuff. We want you to actually make a game that has some life in it. Like, alright, I don't care if it takes a little bit longer because it means that you're actually putting thought into it. Yeah, go for it. We want good games that actually took care. Like, care was put into them, time and actual respect for the game was put into it. Not some random stuff that got slapped together because, oh yeah, we need a new Call of Duty.
Like 2 years after Call of Duty 6 was released, they announced Call of Duty 7's coming out.
Like, we don't
want
deadlines.
And, well, that's the problem, is that it's the board of directors. That's why AAA studios are becoming a thing on the rise. Is basically it's...
AAA, I like that.
So, AAA is just independent studios that used to be former major dev studios that got dismantled because their studio made one great game, cough cough, Hi-Fi Rush, and then immediately was disbanded by the parent company that bought them out. Which apparently another studio, a lesser-known studio, bought Hi-Fi Rush's studio and rehired every single person that worked there, and said, if you need to hire more people, hire more people.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like AAA studios is essentially just like, hey, we're not one person doing everything like Toby Fox. It's basically, hey, we have a small team of 10 plus people working on this game, and we're former developers of other games, and we are here to make things that are similar to what we used to make. And we're going to put heart and passion into it of what we used to make when we were as veterans of this thing. The problem with that is that one of the AAA studios currently is making a game. I think it's not Soulstorm, Stormgate. Okay. Holy shit, Stormgate is a fucking mess. So
yeah,
in 2019, 2020, I don't remember. I was still back in college at the time. Actually 2018, 2017, 2018, about the time of Overwatch existed, and it was the second year of Overwatch, the first year of Overwatch. StarCraft Blizzard Activision Blizzard King had released Arcturus Minx as the final co-op commander for StarCraft 2. They then said that they would be pulling the life plug on actually this was later down the line, but they said that they will essentially just be putting it on permanent life support, and that they would no longer be they would be putting out no new content for StarCraft and be working on the multiplayer for a while.
Okay.
A lot of people got laid off. Those people got together to make the III studio to make Stormgate, essentially remaking StarCraft, but Diablo, so humans, devils, and angels. It is absolute garbage and is incomprehensible.
And that is the downside, is sometimes there's a lot of good, there are some good games that are made by smaller companies, but there's also a lot that they're missing some key components of what will make it a good game.
And a lot of people
It's
are
just
basically
trying to
just saying, hey,
find
we're going to bank on nostalgia.
Yeah, which on one hand, yeah, I see where they're at is, yeah, I wish we had old StarCraft back. Let's do it. Let's make it because we can.
But the problem is that, you know,
you don't know everything that you need to make it.
Meanwhile, not Terminal. What is it called? It's in my wish list. Tempest Rising is a very positive game. It's based off of Command and Conquer and what we were just talking about, StarCraft.
Yeah.
And it's bringing back the old feelings, the old games of it, and how it all felt and how it all comes together. And I have not played it. I wanted to. I was hoping it would have a co-op section, but it doesn't. Or a multiplayer, non-PvP section to it. Doesn't, unfortunately.
Sad.
Yeah, I know. So I ended up, refunding it. with 0 hours in it. But it looked really interesting. I remember it coming out in 2021, the announcement trailer of it, and I was like, I fell in love with it. I loved it. Cookie had sent it to me, and I was like, oh, dude, this looks so cool.
Nice.
Because it's what we need now. Because StarCraft 2 is no longer in existence. It still exists, and it's on permanent life support because, you don't want to piss off South Korea.
Yeah.
There's not... Command & Conquer games basically no longer exist, even though EA earlier this year, released the Command & Conquer Deluxe Edition, basically just releasing all 3 games, or 4 games, I don't remember, I don't know how many it is, I never played them. I think it was like shittier somehow.
Okay, weird.
But we don't have any real RTSs, and then Tempest Rising came along, and everyone's like, this is the new beacon of hope right now.
Which kind of needs some.
Yeah. And right now, with how shitty the last 3 Battlefields have been, Battlefield 6, I haven't played the demo, or played the beta of it. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, just it's tired because it's
morning.
like, yeah.
Yeah, well, 2:30 in the morning, we'll finish this up, don't worry.
We'll wrap it up at some point. But yeah, I have a friend that was playing Battlefield, and he was disappointed in how they were getting, so he was hoping that the new Battlefield would be good after the demo, but doesn't quite want to get his hopes up.
I have played the beta. I have
Yeah.
only played Battlefield 1, and it was 3 years after release. Brother, are you gonna meditate with us, or are you just gonna be an asshole? He's just gonna be an asshole. Cool.
He might not know.
Well, no one knows because I'm a
was-
nobody.
Well, I was also gonna say, not everyone knows about Data Reaper,
Yeah.
which is a shame.
Yeah. So yeah. I've never played it, and because they can't really make a Bad Company 3 because of how the fact of they don't have the original creators of the first two Bad Companies, they dissected Battlefield Bad Company 2, took the destruction and arcade feeling of it, and brought it to Battlefield 6. And every person
Okay.
that's a Battlefield veteran of the game says it feels exactly like Battlefield Bad Company 2. It's an arcadic shooter, and it doesn't take
Nice.
itself as seriously as 2042 does, as Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 does. It feels like the
Okay.
original Bad Company 2, and that anybody playing it will immediately be immersed in nostalgia. Because Cookie is a Battlefield veteran who played that and loved the fuck out of Vietnam, Battlefield Vietnam, Bad Company 2 Vietnam DLC, and Red Storm Vietnam, I think it's called, or Red Rising or something like that. I don't know what the game is called. But
Something.
but she enjoyed it. She loves the new Battlefield 6 in the beta, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. I had like no hopes for it, and I didn't want to play it, and then I had like another group tell me, dude, come play this. I'm like, alright, fine. 2 people are telling me to come play this. I've never played a Battlefield game. Holy shit, I'm pre-ordering right now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping that'll be really good. Just because, yeah, we need more games that are actually going to be decent.
You know, the last thing we want, which is Sony's business model, is live service games. We don't want live service games. The problem with having a lot of live service games is that you don't have enough people, or you don't have enough time in the existence to keep going back.
Yeah, that's true. Eventually, there's got to be some sort of cutoff.
Yeah. Alright, we'll call it there.
Almost fell. Yeah, almost fell backwards in my chair.
But yeah, thanks for... Okay, bye.
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
No, I
but-
know, but you're not here in the game.
But, yeah.
No.
Anytime, I'm glad I was able to help impart some of my useless knowledge. Semi-useful. We'll go with semi-useful knowledge.
No, I'm
yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat, considering that like with like Pokemon with a bunch of different games.
Just all this stuff.
Oh, apparently Cookie was watching my stream and is yelling at me of saying, "It's the same dev team. It's DICE." Love you, Cookie. Have a good night.
Well,